I believe this Christmas ad special was the first show we got from CBS, and many more were to follow.
Tis the season for 60 minutes of the greatest holiday commercials ever produced.
This could work.
From caroling Christmas cows to high-fashion Santas. Join the search for a festive dinner with all the trimmings and much, much more. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and it's all brought to you by Santa.
Can you guess who this tall, handsome, wavy-haired TV star is from his high school yearbook photo? Now there's a star in the making. Hi, I'm Joe Regalbuto, and welcome to our show.
Welcome to Stars in the Making, the show that asks the question, how did today's top stars ever get where they are now? In the next hour, you'll see early appearances of some of your favorite film and television performers. Candice Bergen, Michael Douglas, Kurt Russell, Tom Cruise, Jodie Foster, Dustin Hoffman, Robert Redford, Meryl Streep, Halle Berry, Phoebe Cates, Jay Leno, Dan Rather, Richard Dreyfuss, Shelley Long, Tom Skerritt, Carol Burnett, William Shatner, Burt Reynolds, Susan Sarandon, Wesley Snipes, Jane Seymour, Vanessa Williams, Sybil Shepherd, Kelsey Grammer. Join us on Stars in the Making.
Welcome to the Movie News Hot Summer Sneak Preview. It's going to be a great summer at the movies.
You have no idea.
Danny DeVito takes us behind the scenes of his latest comedy, Renaissance Man, directed by Penny Marshall.
Are you afraid of heights and stuff?
One of the most eagerly awaited family movies, The Lion King, features 5 new songs by Elton John and Tim Rice.
Circle life.
Danny Glover and Tony Danza are playing with Angels in the Outfield. And finally, we'll find out what kind of trouble Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte get into for the comedy adventure I Love Trouble. Sabrina Peterson is an ambitious young cub reporter who has come to the Windy City to make her mark.
Don't you worry. I own this story.
Delivery from Peter Brackett.
Look, I realize every cub reporter in a skirt must go gaga at the great Peter Brackett approaching them, but I happen to be a serious journalist, and frankly, I can't believe you're trying to hit on me while I'm covering a story. You have 0 chance of scoring here. Trust me. Move on.
Where did you say you're from? Bitchville?
I don't think she's above a few tricks here or there. Is this yours?
You're also a pickpocket? They're scoundrels. They're lovable scoundrels. For starters, honey, you ain't my type.
Tall, dark, and stupid. Like any reporter will tell you, they stop at nothing to get the story they want.
Going up?
Friendly competition becomes a dangerous game as their investigation uncovers corruption and murder.
You know, Peterson, if I knew what you knew and you knew what I knew, we just might be able to live through this story.
Go! Go! The stunts in I Love Trouble provided plenty of excitement for the actors.
In this instance, they were very eager to try and do as much as they could. It's an unbelievable accomplishment to be able to get them both out there together in harnesses and say, you're really going to be 60 feet above the deck. You have to trust the one cable that you're on. That's a lot to ask.
Julia. Good. Way to go, Julia. Yeah.
I figure if they have the nerve to even ask me to do this, that I might as well have equal nerve and actually do it.
Although no partnership is perfect.
See you in the funny papers.
I knew you were trouble the first time I laid eyes on you.
And reporters' instincts die hard.
Is that what you think, Brackett?
Is that what you think, Peters?
I asked you first.
As Peterson and Brackett get closer to the truth,
Brackett!
they find more trouble than they bargained for. I Love Trouble, starring Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte, heats up the summer box office on June 29th.
Just as things were heating up, I got my Avids back, and I asked Wriightwood if I could put them there, and they said yes. CBS gave us the deal for their upfront presentations, pieces they show advertisers to sell them on possible fall shows.
I know you.
Crosstown Traffic is a story of 3 young cops, undercover cops, vice cops, on the Sunset Strip.
You can find some time to be someone.
Instead of putting older policemen to investigate things happening to young people on the strip, you need young people. We have an African-American cop, a young lady, and a white male cop, and they're really buddies, but they fit in anywhere.
How was everything today?
How you doing?
Fargo is based on the movie that the Coen brothers did last year, which is, as you well know, been nominated for an Academy Award this year.
Could I take just a minute of your time here?
What is it all about?
It deals with basically these odd assortment of characters in Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, you betcha, yeah. Yeah.
And it will be quirky and idiosyncratic and funky and fun.
How do you do it?
Liposuction.
All you can do is find characters that are true and maybe quirky. What I'm trying to figure out is how do I do a comedy that most people like?
Instinct?
Currently, the show is called Selleck. It very well may end up being called Selleck. That's because Tom Selleck is the star.
Wait a minute, here's the best part.
Brooklyn South. It's an hour drama, 10 o'clock. It's about uniformed police officers in Brooklyn. Uniformed cops are riding down the street, they're walking a beat, and something can happen right now.
Break out!
They're the buffer society puts between us and chaos.
It's over with. Let's get out of here.
For those shows that made it through the first round and were awarded at least a pilot, we'd do a second round of presentations, and this time we'd use clips. This particular one is one of my favorites.
Who's feeling happy today? I ain't your son.
Beg to differ.
What should I wish for, Daddy?
Salvation.
American Gothic takes place in a beautifully sweet southern town. It's a bright place that has a very cheery face. But beneath the surface of this town, we're going to find that it has a very dark, dark underbelly.
You're a good man, aren't you? I don't know what that means. Anything happens to that child, you will.
Make everything happen.
People that embrace that dark side and come to terms with it and are struggling through it will be our heroes. The people who deny it, and the people who keep the happy face on, and the people who pretend that it doesn't exist will actually be our villains.
Was the sheriff the only one in the room when this happened?
Careful, Matt. Mr. Buck's been around here a lot longer than you have.
The final stage is the CBS Sneak Peek, the on-air look at the fall lineup. JT and I did the first couple of seasons together. We cut everything over at Match Frame in the Linear Bay.
Hey, I'm Paul Provenza. Welcome to CBS Sneak Peek. I'm here in Seattle, Washington. The network suits back in New York sent me here to find out what you think of the November lineup. Why me? Well, I was in the neighborhood up in Sicily, Alaska, where I just joined the cast of Northern Exposure. I've met a lot of new people, a lot of good friends, like Rusty. How you doing, Rusty? I got your decaf, because I know when you get wired, your nose lights up red. Rusty's particularly excited about the new miniseries, Scarlet. Let's take a look. Very quiet, and Mark, and background. Closer.
You are such a child, Scarlet.
Come in, Fred. Please.
I'm leaving in the morning.
The Yankees should have hung you when they had the chance.
This is a great, big, fabulous story that spans generations and wars and famine and birth and death.
I wonder sometimes if things might have been different if our child hadn't died.
He does love it. He wouldn't have put up with it for 7 years and gone with the wind. His mother.
You once carried me across this threshold.
You can rest assured that won't happen again.
Morning. It is about a Canadian Mountie who's an atypical Mountie. He's a real oddball, even for the Mounties.
That's far enough, son.
What are you, a flying Boy Scout or something?
Constable Benton Fraser, Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
He ends up hooking up with this Chicago cop who's kind of the flip side of everything he is.
You just let him go?
Not without a stern warning.
He's brazen, he's flippant, he's got an attitude, he's angry.
You want your soggy chop suey, you go to the burbs. Down here, it's the real deal. Bird nest soup, fish heads, shark fins so fresh they're still circling the bowl. But you gotta act like a regular, otherwise they stick you with yesterday's mooshu.
Well, I'll just follow your lead then.
Full of love, understanding, compassion, but the city and the element has hardened Ray.
Okay, so what do we got?
There it is.
Ray, this is,
Celeste.
Enough with the names. Police, give me the bag.
Oh, come on!
Okay, let's bring the cast in, please.
Who are you?
Is that all?
I'm constantly in a state of readiness.
And I'm sort of in a coma.
Marker?
What is it? Mud. You found mud. Now that is something amazing.
That's enough of that. Yeah.
We got it.
Wait, we'll fix it in post.
Spies from America. They're looking for information from us because it's one of the greatest productions ever and it's from Canada. I know it's important to fling fish from here to there.
It is.
But I'd like you to take a few seconds out and take a look at CBS's 2 best dramatic series.
Okay.
Picket Fences and Chicago Hope. Check this out.
Oh.
This will be exciting. I can feel it.
But this can't be happening. The guy committed murder. Now he's gonna walk?
He won't walk, damn it.
The quieter the town, the more that there is hidden. You know, the picket fence is a little deceiving.
You just trust the guy because he's Catholic. That's racist.
It's politically correct to hate Christians.
I don't hate Christians.
Do too.
We're going to give you both sides. It's the point of the show. Apart from entertainment is to give you some respect your intelligence and give you some information on both sides of the fence and let you make up your own mind.
We're a wild bunch of people in a really interesting town.
Suspect without evidence. I can't make that stick.
You tell her parents.
You tell the judge to weigh probable cause.
Such loud voices.
Shut away.
And you gotta bring lots of money because if you don't bribe Five-ish, he tries to upstage you in every scene. And I hate that. I hate that.
Are we ready? Yes, sir. Rehearsal. All right, there we go.
Tom Skerritt directed that episode where I got ill. Kathy Baker, who plays Jill Brock, the doctor, in her office, she didn't have the equipment. She had to take me to a hospital. And naturally, Wisconsin is near Chicago. So she says, you got to go to Chicago Hope.
Excuse me, are you crazy?
Little Thorazine helps. As you get behind the operating rooms, behind the walls, you see that you're dealing with virtually an insane asylum. You should know, other than surgery, I mentally undressed you. You got a little cellulite right here. Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
Mandy mooned me yesterday off camera. I had to laugh, and he felt that, for some reason, he felt that if he did that, it would help me laugh. And he did, but not for the reasons he thought.
You know what I think?
No, but if you concentrate, I'm sure it'll come to you.
I think it's time for a little tension around here. There's just too much relaxation. There's too much camaraderie.
I'll ask you once again. Remove your finger.
I'll remove it if and when I choose, you obnoxious little snot.
We're also very capable and can fix anybody anywhere, so just call us at Chicago Hope and come and visit. But we are, I think, clearly out of our minds.
Eventually, we cut everything at Wriightwood Group on my 2 Abbots, and they also bought a full-blown match-frame linear bay, of which I was the guru of. I bought a house in the hills, started fixing it up. Life was pretty sweet. If only it could have lasted.